right things. A goodly sum for flowers. Medieval vegetables, unlike any you'd see today. You wonder how they kept that long. And a donkey trained to pick up empty coffee cups.
Well, this said there's nothing here but this bit of land before. This is for the battlements. This has been totally built. And it's one of, we have this one, then we go to Blackness, the actual castle. We use a section of that. We've used a bit of Dover.
Very well bethought.
And then the rest we have built in the studio.
Has told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you.
Ophelia's alive again. And Ian Holm's still here, despite the meager rewards. She's telling her father about Hamlet.
Made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? You speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstances. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
This sounds like a eulogy. I took this because of Franco. I do think he's a maestro.
I will teach you.
I think he paints the most wonderful pictures. And I think he's back on track again with this one. I think it's going to look stunning. And I think it just might be a hell of a good movie.
It's not fair that the kids of today don't have the Hamlet of today. The definitive Hamlet of Larry Oliver has not been really brought up to the attention of the younger generations. I think it's our duty is to help them to continue and acknowledge a culture. Otherwise, they will bring them up like apes. I want to show to them that even a great classic like Hamlet is an exciting, wonderful today story, understandable by kids of today.
I must to England, you know that. This letter sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will at his fate.
I'll let you in on a trade secret.
Must sweep my way.
What do you do when the script demands menacing weather and the sun shines all day? That's right, you shoot the vital scenes at night. Hamlet's been banished to England here. Glenn Close has poured all of herself into Gertrude and let a little of Gertrude seep back into her.
I'm very passionate about my work. I feel like right now, I feel like a racehorse in the box waiting for the door to open. It's hard to be a perfectionist and be an actor because, especially with material like Shakespeare, I don't know if there's any one way to do it. I think what one seeks is what is truthful at that moment, you know, given where we are today. Like Stephen Frears says, it just seemed like a good thing at the time. You know, a lot of it is that.
Ghosts, of course, only tend to appear at night. Hamlet is determined to meet his dead father and learn firsthand whatever it is he's come back to tell him.
They clep us drunkards, and indeed it soils the pith and marrow of our attribute.
Right, that's
the pith
one.
And marrow of our attribute.
You'll have to put a glottal in there.
Our attribute.
Yep.
Okay, a glottal. And indeed it soils the pith and marrow of our attribute. I got it right.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing?
Can you do that again? Can you do that again?
There was a belief more strongly held in the 16th century that you had to make your peace with your maker before you could proceed to the afterlife. Hamlet's father, because he was murdered, had no time to atone for his sins, so he walks the night until his crimes are burnt and purged away. We still joke about the devil today.
Look at Dyson, he looks like a gangster tonight. And we pan in and we discover a neat bullet hole between the eyes. These Franco's cousins from Sicily have come and fixed you. Take his hat off. He has a 666 tattooed on the back of his head. He also...
It looks like it in the wind.
He has 6 toes on each foot.
Is that
and
all?
there are little horns on his head.
It's pretty eerie wandering about the battlements built here on the eastern seaboard of Scotland. One can almost imagine a real ghost.
And it's like when he's off guard that the bloody thing appears. He's not waiting for it.
The price might be very heavy.
Yeah?
I mean, heavy because the audience doesn't want to hear philosophy there.
Yeah, right.
They want to see the ghost.
Yeah, true.
Just being here at the dead of night in this predicament, Hamlet's dilemma is driven home to me. Here is a man grieving his father's death and tortured by feelings of betrayal at his mother's over-hasty marriage. Now he's desperate to meet his father's ghost. But not tonight. The dawn cuts off his search, and the night shoot, and to put the lights to bed. There's some important stuff that happens on the locations. But we had a talk, and he said, look, when we're finished, we'll get into the studio and do all that. We'll get into the meat of things. We'll cut it all together, have a look at it. And we're like a guy who does a painting. He said, we'll go back and we'll retouch. And that makes you relax. You go, oh, good, you know, we haven't left that there. I mean, there is salvation.
God has given you one face, and you make for yourselves another. You jig and dabble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness, your ignorance. Go. And no morons just made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are.
This is one of the most difficult shots because it is practically 360 degrees spinning around in one shot. It means that we have to clear everything. We can't see any people. We can't see any lights. So everything has to be hung above the heads of the actors. We want to have them lit. And it's very complicated, but the results could be wonderful. What I want to do here is spinning around Ophelia, him in his rage. It goes around her, and we go with him until the poor girl's mind begins to go strange.
You want me to roughen you up a bit?
Yeah. Actually, she should be pushed there. At the end. Go away, you drive me mad.
Yes, I'm trying not to hurt you. So let's figure something out here. Which is, God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble, and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness, your ignorance, go too. Is that all right?
I'm just thinking.
One of my girlfriends, I'd give him a great smacking kiss, you know. But he's lovely. He's very, very nice. Very inventive and really funny, I think.
I don't want to hurt you. If one imagines that I really... Alas, poor you. Alas, poor Helena. She's got bruises all over her throat.
I'm always getting thrown around by him, which is... he's very nice because he doesn't like doing that to me. But, yes, I mean, the thing is, with their love story, it's over by the time the film starts. But, yeah, it's been nice, though.
I did love you once. You should not have believed me.
What's it like having labels stuck on you, like being the sexiest man in the world?
What's it like? Oh, you know, you sometimes it annoys you, and sometimes you think, well, there you go, you know, hey. But it's just a pile of bullshit, really. I don't know what to say to that one. I've never been able to answer that question.
No, it must be quite flattering, isn't it?
In a way, that's what I mean. In a way, it's kind of flattering that you're conceived of like that, but the whole notion is ridiculous. I mean, it's just a stupid idea. What does the word sexy mean, anyway? What does it mean? You just want to chase him around the room. Is that what it means?
I think it means that a lot of women feel you're extremely attractive.
And want to chase me around a desk?
Probably.
Is that what it means? Well, that's nice. Everyone likes to be desirable.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair...
I sometimes wish I could have a crack at this part every night on the stage. Taking risks, getting it wrong, making it better.
I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord. You made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
But here our performances are sealed in celluloid. There's something kind of terrifying about that permanence. This is going to be around 20 years from now.
He may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Not with you, sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this play for thy doubt. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Or if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. I have heard of your paintings well enough. God hath given you one face and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to! I'll no more on. It has made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage.
I think anyone who's seen Gallipoli knows how good he is. He's totally honest. It makes the part work 100%. I mean, he sort of can't emotionally tell a lie. And he's absolutely centered on it seems to me. And he has tremendous passion, and he has wit, and he has a great variety of feeling.
Yeah, here we have another example of my physical prowess. And just look at that sympathetic crew springing to my assistance. Production Hamlet on ice?
Well, he's very physical. From what I've seen, is, you know, I haven't done that much, but he's tremendously physical. He speaks well. I think perhaps, you know, you won't get as many nuances as you would. It may be slightly mono-paced, but it's extremely clear and maybe not as complex. But, I mean, we've had a plethora of complex Hamlets on the stage of late. So what's wrong with a straight rendering?
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
At last, the ghost of my father, Paul Schofield.
To revenge when thou shalt hear.
With these guys, and I haven't worked with them much. I mean, I've only done one scene with them, but in a more indirect way I've worked with them because I watched, say, Ian in some of the dailies. And it was interesting to note that he was doing something that I wasn't doing. I've got the world's worst diction, and my diction sucks. So when I watched him do something and noticed the value he was getting from really enunciating and hitting those consonants and things, it's just a gentle reminder that you must use all that, because in the very words the emotion lies, and in the completion of those words, you know. And perhaps I was being a little slack there, but that's just bad habits from like American films and you know, where naturalism is encouraged to the nth degree.
I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy.
He doesn't even know he's a big star, Mel. That's why he's a real star. He happens to be this extraordinary actor who's loved by millions of people in the world. And he has always done a fine job, fine work. So that makes him a star, but not because he has an attitude of being a star at all.
It's a game, and it's a very well-paid game, and it's got the downside, of course, like the 20 million telephoto lenses in the UK that are trained on you every minute of the day, till you could shoot them, till you could get a machine gun and just mow them down. You can't do that, I mean. But you get pretty pissed off at them at times. But you can't do that. The upside? That I'm doing what I want to do. For the most part. That the world is kind of open to me, and that I can go places and do things like learn how to ride a horse when I'm 34, you know? I mean, it's just something you should know when you're a kid. But I have the luxury of actually being paid to go and, you know, fulfill those things that I missed out on. It's kind of like being educated all the time. It's nice.
And action!
I want to remind you that what you're seeing here are rehearsals and outtakes. The real thing's being compiled, and it'll be there on the night.
I could accuse me of such things.
And Helena, what a home wrecker.